Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Sunday the 23rd of August and I'm going to be doing several videos today, but for this video I'm going to be concentrating on the video calls that we've had over the last couple of days that Harry and Meghan also took part in. First one I'm going to talk about is the Queen's Commonwealth Trust Facebook talk with the Commonwealth Trust leaders. Both Harry and Meghan spoke of their pride in remaining part of the organisation set up by the Queen herself. Meghan called it an honour to continue the Queen's legacy via the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. Well, Meghan, I think we're kind of backtracking a little bit because the book Finding Freedom has really made it look like you don't give two hoots about the Queen, to be quite honest. And what's with the continue in Her Majesty's legacy? Are you kidding me? The cheek of her is outstanding, to be quite honest. She was barely in the royal family for just over a year, and now she's running with the word legacy. Wrong word there. Harry also spoke adoringly of his grandmother. In fact, he called her his grandmother. No, Harry, when you are in fact doing work for the Commonwealth Trust, she's your boss. She should be the Queen. Certain hierarchical things that you need to do. She is your grandmother, yes, technically, but she's also your boss in this capacity. It's all about respect, of which it seems you have none. Now, I have a theory about this element of them referring to the Queen as the grandmother in this particular video call. I think that's a little bit of backpedaling because of what Omid Scooby has said about it. We've had this whole Harry yelled at his grandmother, and it showed how much little respect he had, that he had to make sure that his wife had everything she wanted and it was her needs come before anybody else. That's how the book made it seem to some of us that read through the waffle. Now, this seems like them completely backpedaling and going, oh, we really do love her. We have a lot of respect for her because she's your boss, quite frankly, you two, and she pays your wages. Now, I know people are going to go, but they've stepped back from being working royals. Actually, technically they have, but technically they haven't because they're still receiving 95% of their funding from the royal family. They've only dropped the 5% of that sovereign grant. They still get 95% of it, what they were getting before. That's a lot of money. Now, everybody is asking whether or not Harry and Meghan get salaries for being president and vice president of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. I've searched through the annual reports and nothing there equates to them receiving a salary. Yes, they would probably pay all of their workers and employers a salary, but it doesn't technically say Harry and Meghan are receiving them. What it probably means is their salary is part of that 95% funding from the royal family. And this is the little bit of kind of moment when all those preachers and lovers of Meghan say, well, they want to be financially independent and they're being there and they're living their life. Well, are they? Are they really financially independent? No, they're not, because of that 95% funding from the royal family. It sticks in your throat, doesn't it? I think the funniest part of the video call itself was when Meghan said she felt incredible pride at being able to work with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, revealing young people from across the Commonwealth come with a question. They have always offered a solution, and that's what I think is so inspiring and why I'm incredibly proud to be able to work with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. That's quite ironic because all of these video calls that they have been doing over the past couple of months, not once have they come up with any solution to anything that they have been spouting about. It's all buzzwords and word salad. And it seems to me this video call was exactly that. They were trying to cement their places as being part of president and vice president by not really doing anything about it apart from being on video camera saying, we love the Queen, isn't she great? Of course, it wouldn't be their normal video call etiquette if they didn't say something about social media. And this one's a doozy. Meghan said, when you look at what these platforms are capable of with that reach and what propels them in terms of trolling, you can either train people to be cruel or you can train people to be kind. It's It's really that simple. Right, okay. Except you've been caught out by contacting one of the biggest trolls out there. Maybe you should have a little word with your team, because your silence on this matter is deafening. It's tainted your views on social media, both of you. You cannot spout anything about social media until you clean your own house. In fact, Harry went on to say in the video call, he said, "How can you shut down hate without sharing it, without fueling it?" He said that he felt that it was vital to not just come to the table with a problem without a solution. Again, you're saying the same thing as your wife, but in a kind of different way, just changing the words around, but it's still the same message. If you don't do anything about your side, nothing else will matter, because you have been tainted with the most unimaginable scandal with regards to social media by contacting this particular fan. And until you address that matter, you just look like hypocrites. I do find it particularly odd that she's now slathering on thick of how much she loves the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, and rightfully she should. She is Vice President. But she has been so vitriol against the royal family in the book Finding Freedom. It's so juxtaposition against what was said doesn't make sense. Is she backpedaling because she knows that Hollywood might not roll out the red carpet for her? Are they both now grasping onto these president and vice president roles to be able to run with it and to be king and queen of the Commonwealth? That's something that has to be discussed. I know you might recall in horror and go, "Oh, surely not," but in her mind, she could very well think, "Ooh, I could run the Commonwealth. I am Vice President after all. It could be my empire." No, love, it's the Queen's empire. The sad thing is if they were to have stayed within the royal family, that could have very well been an option. This Commonwealth Trust could have propelled them to unimaginable strength, but now it's just tainted. And it seems that they are now clinging their fingertips to the one thing that is truly solid, stands next to the royal family, which is the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. It does seem particularly weird that prior to this book coming out, that the last time they did a Queen's Commonwealth Trust video, they were actually kind of dissing it because of the history it holds. They got muddled up between the Empire and the Commonwealth, and now they want to just run with it and they're singing its praises. What gives? I tell you what gives. They've realised that this book makes them look like stupid, whining, pitiful, entitled brats. The book absolutely slated the way that the royal family and the courtiers dealt with them. Yet they are now singing everything about them and their praises as if they could just hop back to Britain and everything will be rosy. They wanted out. Well, no, they didn't want out, did they? They wanted to be half in, half out. They still wanted to remain working royals, but they wanted to be able to earn their own private money. That's not the way it works, and you were told no. So to say that you want to continue the Queen's legacy is really quite offensive. Now, I'm going to go on to the second part of the video calls, and that is for the When We All Vote online summit organised by Michelle Obama. Meghan Markle spoke and she made a political stand and she slammed voter suppression while urging women to vote for the change we deserve. Now, I'm not going to be very popular here because technically she's not a British citizen. It's a bit of a sticky wicket, to be perfectly honest. She's still a member of the royal family, while technically not a working royal member of the family, but she still is. However, she is an American citizen. And this is where the waters muddy a little bit. She has every right to voice an opinion, but she's now tiptoeing into very dangerous territory. If she goes on even further and to put the way that she's voting into her speeches, then that will be a problem. At the moment, she's just encouraging people to vote. That's fine. Leave it like that. Of course, this has really upset the apple cart because we all know British royals are not allowed to become political. They should be apolitical. Now, there is also backlash because The Sun ran a very dodgy front cover which basically said the Queen backs Brexit. That's not what the Queen did at all. She just basically said she wants it done. She doesn't back Brexit at all. She just wanted the country to be sorted voted. The Sun overstepped the mark. I don't think they should have run with that, because that was putting the Queen in a very awkward position and changing and mixing up her words. They used her to gain control over the situation. It was the Sun's doing and not the Queen's doing. You must understand that. She had no control over the Sun running that front cover. Now, while I think the aim of the sentiment was a good one, that everybody should vote, everybody should, it's their democratic right to vote. If you can vote, you should vote. But she's getting into very tricky water, in my personal opinion, because she's dipping into politics, and she still is technically a member of the royal family. Now, the only person that's not allowed to vote in the royal family is the Queen. Everybody else can vote, but they choose not to vote because of where they are within the royal family. They don't vote because they have to remain apolitical. Now, since this particular video call has been put in the media, a lot of people are now saying, putting their cards on the table and saying she will go into politics. Then they really will be upsetting the apple cart, in my personal opinion. You can't do it. You can't be receiving funds from the royal family and then going into politics. Irrelevant of where your end goal is, she'll try to run for president. That's my own opinion. I think she will. That is her end game, to be in the White House. If I had to hazard a guess, and this is purely my own opinion and a guess, I think in her little mind she probably sees the future running alongside Michelle Obama to be her wingman. That won't happen. But the thing that people are more upset about is she's still using her title in these video chats about being political. You need to drop that, love. You really, really do. If you want to start talking politics, you need to be known as either Meghan Markle or Meghan Mountbatten Windsor, because you cannot be the Duchess of Sussex. You can't lend your title when you want to talk about politics. And I think that's what has got people upset. She's using her title on a political platform. I think if she would drop the Duchess of Sussex just purely when she talks about politics, she would have more credence. Now, I'd like to ask a question to my US female watchers. Are voters really suppressed? Are women voters really suppressed? Do you need somebody telling you that you can vote? Are you that suppressed that you need somebody with a title to lend their ear and say, we can do it, everybody, let's all vote? Because here in the UK, once you're 18, you can vote. If you want to vote, you vote. If you don't want to vote, you vote. Nobody is there saying you must vote, you must vote, you must vote. I think somebody's trying to get somebody out of the office as much as she can without actually saying it. Do you think she's going to take the next step and publicly state who she is voting for? And if she does, do you think that that will overstep the mark with regards to her connections to the royal family? I think we all know, or we can all guess, exactly who Meghan isn't voting for. So that only really leaves the person she is voting for. We know she won't vote for Trump because she has been extremely vocal with her hatred towards him. Do you think the fact that she is getting behind this political stance, that it may well make people vote for Trump who didn't vote for him previously, because she is going on this campaign? And more importantly, because she is a duchess in the UK and she's an American citizen, is she now trying to influence voters by not technically saying who she's voting for, but we all know who she doesn't vote for? Is that trying to influence elections? I do find it quite hypocritical that she is really hammering down about American women voting and making sure that everybody is aware of where she's standing, yet her lifestyle is on the back of the British taxpayer. I know she's not receiving the sovereign grant, that's not what I'm debating about, but the British royal family do get their money from us, so technically they are too. One thing is blazingly clear: her path wants to be in politics, and I would love to know your thoughts on that. I've said all along, she is aiming for that big White House. Whether she gets it or not is another matter. I don't think she'll get through the first stages, to be perfectly honest. She'll give it a try, because in her mind she can do anything, because she has the power now that her title has given her. Without marrying Harry, she would have just been a D-list actress. Yes, she did some really good speeches for the UN, and she was on that starting peg of doing great things, but that got pushed aside, and then she married Harry. Without Harry, she would have nothing really. She wouldn't be where she was today. She certainly wouldn't be living in the house she has at the moment. So the questions I have for you: what do you think of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust video? Are they backpedaling because of the fallout from Finding Freedom? Are they all going overboard with the love and the respect that they have for the Queen because they looked so bad on the back of that book? What do you think of the When We All Vote talk that she did, where she said that Michelle Obama was her best friend? Yeah, I forgot to mention that one, I'm sorry. Do you think she's abusing her royal family connections, and should she be involving herself in American politics while using the title Duchess of Sussex? I would love to know your thoughts as ever. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.